Hey y'all, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad. I am here with cookies that are fresh out of the oven. And we are here to talk about Ivan's deck list from the Sao Paulo Battle Hardened. I want to briefly kind of just go over his kind of spicy includes. So we see a one of Cosmic Awakening on the board. It looks like no reacts at all, so not even a snag or a de-react. Again, I'm splitting this out into a 60 that I think the 60 is, roughly. But again, there's probably some the deck authors know the deck better than me. We see a one of Cosmic Awakening, which is quite solid. We also see Harmony Hunt, Weakest Link, and Enlightened Strike. Again, I think these are I normally think of these as like more main deck cards, but again, I think it's hard to like tell with some of these lists. This round's gonna be also kind of a sideboard card, but I put it in the main blues because I know that people do run it main board a lot of the time. What else is cool about this list? No Orihone again, which is very interesting. Um, Again, maybe people are just not liking the high roll potential of Orihone, and again, I think I boarded out a new anyways, so maybe just filling the slot with an extra blue is fine. And what else do we see here? It's pretty stock standard otherwise. Yeah, these are kind of the most interesting cards actually. We're also sporting AB3, which is brutal in a Kano. Holy shit. Um, and kind of normal equipment otherwise. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into our game. Again, I'm just going to try to power through these last couple deck lists because we are going to San Diego tomorrow. So I wanted to kind of stock up on a little bit of content for y'all because I know y'all kind of enjoyed like these more like nuanced Zen deck discussions. I think it's worth kind of examining each deck just to kind of figure out like what I like, what I don't like. We're gonna try to get a random opponent here, and I'm gonna take a bite of this cookie real quick. Okay, we might not be getting any takers, so let's go bully someone. Who is our unwilling victim today? I think that's our game. Okay, so this is Flesh and Bad lore for you. I was trying to play a Vincent and just like chilling on the couch today, and it was like a 30-minute game over like 9 turns. So I kind of refuse to do it at this point. Do we want to bully an Enigma? Not particularly. Let's Prism. Let's do a Prism. No one likes playing against Prism. So again, we're probably fine here in terms of how safe we are to match into it. We want all of that. Again, no time skippers in this deck. So let's do probably want Harmony Hunts just because they're weird break points. Weakest links are also probably fine. I don't think we need that this round's on me. E-Strike is also kind of whatever. I also tend to cut spinnings into Prism. I don't know if that's right. Maybe just bring another 3 block. I do like blocking a some amount against Prism. Let's go ahead and try this out. Again, as always, I am not the author of these decks, so take my sideboarding advice with a grain of salt. I'm just kind of basing this off of how I would sideboard my decks. Which again, I'm not even confident in that either. So again, we'll give it our best shot here. Okay, against Prism, notable to kind of look at is Vestige, and again, they went first, which is not ideal for us. But again, developing on Aura like this is kind of less bad than trying to hit us with the Herald. So notably here, we do not have Transcend, which is a little unfortunate. Is it better to try to... What is our play here? Our play might honestly just be to like Tigers like the Parable Pass and then just hold back the CNC for next turn and try to dig for a blue for this guy. I don't hate that. Because otherwise, like, we don't, like, We can Descendant, pitching a Tiger Swipe, and then we Needle, and then we can pitch our CNC, but I don't really like pitching the CNC against Prism. Let's just Tiger Swipe this stupid Parable. I think there is like merit to holding back here. We'll just pass it back. Okay, we find our Transcend. We have our Popper. I think this is exactly what I wanted when I was trying to do this hand. So we have access to Descendant Bonds. We have access to Harmony, Descendant Bonds, Aspect, Tiger Swipe, which is like really sick turn next turn. Okay, this is why we held back the CNC. I'm assuming this is their edition. Again, they still have Halo up, but we at least force the Halo out if we do this. So I'm kind of okay with it. Or not. Okay. Ah, classic misplay. Okay, that was, I should have paid a little bit more attention to that, but that's okay. Everyone makes mistakes, especially me. Let's get rid of, what's our arsenal? Descendant. I kind of like having Transcendent Arsenal. So we'll gain our resource, we'll do Descendant, and then after the Chain Link resolves, look at our bonds so that they can't target it with Figment, because they still have Halo up. Get our bonds. Bonds will get Tiger Swipe. We'll send a nice little bit of damage in our Solar Transcend. I think that's pretty okay for us. We also will have a spare Tiger if they let the Tiger Swipe hit, so that we could theoretically like break an Aura if they want to try to develop something like Genesis out of our turn. Coming in for 6, I think, right? Yeah. Pretty solid. Okay, and we'll pass it back. Decent hand. Not super crazy about this hand, but it's okay. A lot of prisms are also on that all you got, by the way, so like be very, very careful with your needles, especially early on. Needles are almost more important for popping like Spectra, like at the end of a chain randomly, than for like other stuff. I think we're just letting this hit. They don't have any soul yet, so they can't like Soraya. Like they can Soraya, but like they can't draw off it yet. Oh, they can technically draw off of it with the Halo. But again, we're not super scared yet. Tome is obviously a little spooky, but again, we haven't seen an ALS yet, which is fine. I need to remind myself we're not on time skippers, so we also need to take that into consideration a little bit. Okay, there's ALS, which is fine. So the question here is now, how do we best filter our hand for ALS? Oh, this is really interesting. We could actually just get rid of the Sacred Art right now. Like, just, what if we did create, your Crouching Tigers get +1 this turn, just to filter it out of our hand so we have more block value next turn. Then we do, like, E-Strike that. So you get maximum filtering just for, like, Art of War randomly. I think that's okay, honestly. That might be, like, dumb, but I'm gonna try it. Choose Crouching Tigers get +1. And again, we're just trying to find poppers. Pass back. And again, exactly what we wanted, right? So they can still Halo us here, but again, we'll force them to use it. If they want to use it, they gotta use it now. Or if they want to use it on this, I think we're okay with it. Yep, it looks like they're gonna give this -1, so that is okay with us, I think. And again, I think you can still beat Prism pretty, like, it's pretty okay to beat Prism even if you're not on time skippers. I think the time skippers just, like, mean that their ALSs get a lot worse, basically. Or they can't rely on it as heavily as they do, like, what, like, they're doing now. So I like it. Again, Prism is a lot like Kano in the sense that you're kind of just gambling whether or not you're going to run into it at all. So it's definitely like one of those like more fringe matchups. All right. Hopefully they can't develop out an ALS while they have Soraya, because that would be the worst possibility here. They have that, then that's why. I guess that showcases kind of why time skippers are important. Okay, coming in for 5 here. I think we do have to respect this, just to avoid them trying to draw into another ALS. So I think we'll give Kasaya. We've already seen a fair portion of our Transcend cards, and then we'll give him a 3-block. And then I think on our next turn, we're just going to use Needles for popping Soraya. And notably, their Halo is also gone, so they can't just like stop our turn with Ravages if they wanted to. Then I think we'll Transcend. The Biting Breeze versus the 100 Woods doesn't really matter very much here, right? Because this wasn't going to hit anyways. I can't remember if Winds of Eternity is on this list. I don't think it is. So we can't get that. Maybe we'll just get a Mauling Key, and then just Arsenal Tiger is probably fine. Yeah, seems okay. Okay, we found another Popper, which is good. And again, they're out of their Halo, so very unlikely they'll be able to do anything about this pop. Although they have Parable. Okay, so I spoke a little bit too soon. They also have that, I'm forgetting, it's like the -2 defense of Angelic Wrath. I forget what it's called. Card is escaping me. Sure, they Judgment us, which is fine. They get a Soul, which is, again, a little annoying, but it's okay. Sure. So on our turn, what do we want to do? Do Tiger into like Needle at them. It's probably fine. This Tiger comes in for -1, and their Tiger Swipe will come in for 4 unpreventable, so it gets a little bit of value on that shield. I think we may want to just Needle them to try to strip a card out of their hand if they want to block. Oh, right, we can't play from Banish. That makes sense. So strip a card out of them and then blow up their aura. Again, Soraya is gone, so their biggest Figment threat is kind of out of the way. They're not blocking the Needle, so we get an extra 2 damage in there, which is really solid. And then we're breaking the Parable. I think Parable is worth breaking generally. Okay, they have the Triumph. So if their card in hand is a blue, by blocking with armor, we're basically denying a a flip into attack, which I think is pretty, like, because they do want to try to convert some of these angels. So I think we are going to want to try to block here. And I think we're going to block with not Strides, just because Strides is better on the Art War turn and we don't guaranteed have it. But I think there is a lot of merit in not letting this first Herald hit, just so that we can kind of develop out our stuff here. And we'll hold back the Strides for like a breakpoint or something random. We will go ahead and do, so they don't have Halo, so they can't judgment us yet. Well, they can unless if they have it in hand. But let's go ahead and do this. So we'll Halo, or actually, sorry, we should pitch the blue. Yes. So we'll do this. We'll preserve what into our deck? We'll preserve. I guess a popper is like fine, so put a CNC back. It's maybe okay. Then we'll Zen. I think we want Chase the Tail because we have this Harmony in our hand. And then I think we'll choose Drago as our modes. Again, I think we just want to keep up maximum pressure here. Ah, I called it in advance. They had the Judgment from hand, which is actually kind of good. I actually don't know if that's good. That's kind of a meme a little bit. It's funny that I was thinking about that though. I don't think that's actually like a good play. Although, like, I don't know what their other play would be. So, maybe there wasn't really a good play. I mean, that play's still fine. Like, no, it really isn't. No, that play's like dumb. Not dumb from like their opponent, but I think it's just like low value. Like, I understand the idea. I think that it does kill 7 damage, and maybe your hand only blocks 6, so I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. I don't think that's like entirely wrong, but I don't know. Just a little weak. All right, let's see if we can YOLO a Zen game real quick. Diego Fuego. We'll do this kind of setup. I'm just making sure I sideboard appropriately. Probably want our weakest links, and then we definitely want our this rounds on me, and then maybe we sub out. Some of these lists I have no idea what to sub out. We can sub out. Again, I don't know if they're running like all copies of these. It seems a little excessive. Like maybe like 2 and 2 is fine. And then maybe cut like a mauling. I have no idea. Not gonna think about it too much. We got another needleless Zen. Very interesting. We will get our first 100 wins in Arsenal. Seems pretty high. Our first 100 wins in Graveyard seems pretty high value here. Here we're blocking in CNC just to filter for our Transcend. I think there might have even been merit to like overblocking a little bit, but CNC is also like fine with them. What does this hand want to do? I feel like this hand more than anything just wants to CNC. I don't know. Sure. Maybe like Arsenal to this rounds on me as our Transcend starter. So we'll do go again. Again, I generally don't like starting the chain with this rounds on me because it gives your opponent a lot more like filtering, which is kind of why I don't run this card because it's almost like a blue. It's more of a blue chain ender than a blue chain starter. At least the way I think about it. Again, maybe I'm thinking about it wrong, but like this card is a lot more potent when you can get your opponent to keep like a 5-card hand, right? And then they're stuck with just trying to fight through this effect, as opposed to like blocking and then they're like generating value because you've given them an extra card to block with. I think that's how this card wants to be used, but again, I am not really this rounds on me enjoyer, so if anyone feels differently about this card, let me know. Okay, we found our Transcends, so that is ideal. Opponent does have a pretty good graveyard so far. And that is annoying. But we can try to dig for something here. Pitching an Art War 2 is interesting. I guess it could make sense. So let's Rising Sun Pathful Travel. We could obviously get a little bit punished here, but I think it's fine. Draw into that, which I'm not crazy about. So notably with this, they already have a card in Arsenal, so like giving them a card here is not terrible. And we already have a Chi in our deck now. What happens if we go for it here? I guess this hand is like just kind of weak in general though. What happens if we just like block 7 here? Is that wrong? Or like what if we like pitch in your Chi, do that? And we could send 7? I think we're just gonna pitch in our Chi to Zen and fail to find. They still take our Tiger and draw a card, so they could like play something out after the weakest link, but I think it's okay. So they take our Tiger, and then we're gonna play out like a 9 damage hand next turn. Oh, I guess it depends on what they draw. Sure, that's from Arsenal. Okay. I think I'm okay to just block a little bit here. Chase Dell isn't doing very much on our turn next turn. I think what we're doing next turn is we're doing like Descendant into Needle, and then this runs on me, and then Arsenaling whatever we draw. Just kind of playing out our cards and like trying to dig. Alright, they're taking the Needle. Alright, and this is what I think is like the best usage of this rounds on me is when you get your opponent to keep a 5-card hand, and now they have to like play out their hand through this rounds on me. This is how I think the card is generally meant to be used. Okay, so they're basically negating the effect of this rounds on me, which I'm okay with. And they do hit something off the top, and it's a pretty good one, Tiger Swipe. Next turn might be a Zen State turn, just to buy a little bit more time. Oh, we have a Tooth and Claw gamer. Okay. Very interesting. We will go ahead and take the one, though. Okay, CNC for 5. I don't really feel like I care about this. I think we're fine to let our Mullen Key die. They're also not playing the Tiger Swipe out, which I guess maybe makes sense with the texture of their hand. Surprised they didn't drop in the ocean after harmonying. It generated a Tiger there. To each their own. We're going to go ahead and do Descendant. to stir. Gain a resource. We'll get our bonds. Getting our mauling, I guess, is fine. It's actually funny enough, the CNC destroying that basically just put it in our graveyard, so I think that's actually fine. Like, we only lost like 3 value there, kind of ish. I'm thinking about that right. No, we lost like 6 because we could have played 100 ones anyways. So I think we lost. I think the CNC was still good there, but again, it's fine because we can still pivot to this. They haven't transcended to my knowledge, at least. Actually, was I talking about making a Zen state on this turn? I don't think that's terrible, honestly. What does it play then? We Descendant, make a resource, Needle, Zen state. Is that better? That might have been better. Sorry, it's a little bit late, so not necessarily at the top of my game right this second. I wanted to try to squeeze in one last recording before I fly out. Opponent is in the tank a little bit, but that's okay. Did they think they had Traverse up? Maybe they just want to do it anyways. That's reasonable. Oh, they undid. I think they forgot about Traverse. Sure. So maybe means they're sitting on an Ardor? Huh. But we have now found our Ardor, so that's very positive for us. I think we're just going to use this rounds on me for pitch. All right, let's see what we got here. Blue spinning. Do we want to risk it? Yeah, I think we go for it. They could have the CNC or the weakest link here, but we still have the block up. So I'm not, like, they could punish us here, but this could also be just nothing and pass. Sure. Like, we didn't know that they were going to play out their arsenal, right? So I think that's still worth to do. My phone is currently blocking this, so let's move that away. Let's do Harmony first. Sweet. Pitch this rounds on me, buff banish. Pretty standard modes here. Can we do a double bonds? Yes, we can. Let's do a double bonds. That's fun. Just shitting out our whole hand here. Not much thinking going on. Do bonds. Bonds gets bonds. And then I don't know what the second bonds gets because I don't think it really matters here. We'll get 100 wins, I guess. It's like they're gonna give it. They're all here, but again, they still haven't transcended, which is a little unfortunate for them. Scale of 1 to dead, I think they're quite dead here. Unfortunate. I don't think they saw the drop in the ocean. Oh, they're giving me a hello. Good game, my friend. They did see a drop in the ocean, but they like didn't see a transcend card after that. Yeah, so I don't know. Interesting game. Well, again, that's gonna wrap up our recording for today. Again, we're just kind of doing a little like taste test of all these decks. I do still have one more deck list I need to get to, and that's the first place list from the Sao Paulo. So that's Felipe's list. Very solid looking list. Again, I haven't like looked extensively in here. No, two this rounds on me. No, that all you got. Two sync blows. Very very interesting. Yeah, pretty solid. So yeah, that's going to be it for today though. And then let's take a quick look at the other list. Where was it? Where was it? Ivan Taranto. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong, by the way. So what have we learned from here? Not a whole ton. Again, 6 weakest links is pretty good in a Prism, or 6 poppers is pretty good in a Prism. Cosmic Awakening, I think, is a meme. This round's a meme is pretty okay. Pretty okay in the Zen Mirror. Again, I'm not like a super huge fan for reasons. E-Strike, good. Red Harmony is like, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of my general sentiment. I think this deck is like overall built pretty solid, and maybe these are just kind of pet cards that the author likes. Blue Be Like Water is also a little interesting. I know a lot of people are running that for a little bit. I think it's kind of fallen off a little bit just because I think Biting Breeze has kind of taken the spot a little bit. Yeah, but overall solid list. Very impressive results. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for today, and I will see y'all next time.